smack 'em and slap 'em, I've got some interesting news on the PlayStation 5 Pro, and this could be exactly what a lot of people are looking forward to. This is something that Sony hasn't done since 2019, so it stands to reason that this could actually be something that sees some PS5 Pro official announcements. Still, take it with a grain of salt for right now, because all this kind of stuff can change at pretty much any given time. And we never know what Sony's really up to, because at the end of the day, they're kind of an enigma and they're running things on their own time, really. So, everybody is going to kind of want to see what this thing has to offer, and I'm sure that we'll get to it at some particular point. And be one of the big news stories of the year. So that's going to be interesting to see what happens, and how this changes things. But anyway, the PS5 Pro rumored right now that it could possibly even be revealed at the Tokyo Game Show this year. Sony will attend the Tokyo Game Show for the first time since 2019. Very interesting timing, right? Could we see the PS5 Pro actually unveiled at the game show, since they haven't attended it in 5 years? This year's Tokyo Game Show is shaping up to be one of the largest to date, and the PS5 Pro is supposed to release this year. So they might unveil its long-awaited PS5 Pro at the Tokyo Game Show, since they just confirmed that they're going to be doing that. It might not sound too significant to some, but the last time Sony felt that it was worthwhile showing up to the game show was just before it launched the PlayStation 5, which means we could get a sneak peek or even some hands-on demos of the PlayStation 5 Pro itself. And even though Sony has turned more of its focus onto Western audiences, with Japanese gamers leaning more towards portable consoles like the Switch and mobile, the Tokyo Game Show is the perfect place to unveil new hardware due to the sheer number of attendees and companies that take part every year. There's going to be a total of 730 plus exhibitors across almost 3,200 booths, which make it one of the largest shows to date, and having Sony in attendance will only drive more people to the place. Tokyo Game Show 24 takes place Thursday, September 26th, which is in line with when we've heard various leaks and rumors of when the PS5 Pro would actually be announced, until Sunday, September 29th. Tickets for the general public go on sale from Saturday, July 13th, and a single-day ticket costs $18. A September reveal of the PS5 Pro would also make sense if Sony is planning to release the souped-up PS5 console later this year. It's heavily rumored to launch sometime during the holiday in November, actually, and would give PlayStation a big boost into the new year, as well as kind of reinvigorate existing titles that will likely get a PS5 Pro update. The PS5 Pro will benefit pretty much every PS5 game with ray tracing support. It's much more powerful hardware, so you're going to get steadier frame rates and things like that. I think that's going to be the thing that a lot of people kind of look forward to the most, is just getting better performance and things like that, plus their own technology for upscaling, meaning like something in 1080p could look pretty much the same as something native 4K now, which thanks to like AI upscaling and things like that, it's a completely different ball game as opposed to how things were a number of years ago. So again, we'll see how these things all kind of work out. Like, I'm excited to see what they're going to actually show off with this, because you don't have a big new console hardware update like that without showing off something running on it first party wise, right? So I think that's the thing that is exciting me the most with this situation, is that we're going to be able to see something like Ghost of Tsushima 2, possibly the the Uncharted remake or whatever. Listen, that's been rumored for a long time as well. There's starting to be a little bit of fire like that. Sony's been way too quiet lately, as far as I'm concerned. I understand wanting to be somewhat quiet when you don't have that much to show, and I do think that they probably obviously went through a period of time where they didn't have that much to show, due to kind of focusing on some of the games as a service stuff. But now is a completely different time, a completely different era. You've got to be able to showcase why people should buy this thing, and that's the thing I think that people realistically probably are starting to figure out now. I can't wait to see what it's going to be all about and things like that. I think a lot of people are in the same kind of situation as me. I mean, at first when you start hearing about, upgraded console or whatever, you're like, hey, I just got this thing. But, we're literally 4 years into it, if you think about it. And I always think about it in this kind of way, right? Like, I'm a big Xbox fan. I bought an Xbox when it came out, and then 4 years later I bought an Xbox 360. They changed the game, really. So that's kind of the exciting thing for me anyway, is that I was able to go out there and buy an Xbox 360, and then that was a longer generation, and so that's fine. What I was able to kind of do and accomplish is be able to kind of play my games, and you just, technology kind of evolves a little bit. So I think that's what you could do. If you're not able to kind of go out there and pull off something like that, then I guess you don't have to. Like Microsoft, we're going to see how they do. But again, it doesn't seem like many people are buying an Xbox to begin with, to be honest with you. So again, is this really going to affect them that much? I kind of doubt it. We'll see what happens long term with that, but seeing the PS5 Pro running stuff like the Venom game, or Ghost of Tsushima 2, or even like maybe Call of Duty. And I know people think that's crazy, right? Like, oh, there's no way that that they'll do that. There's no way that they'll show Call of Duty or whatever. 100%. Why wouldn't they, right? Like, Microsoft is all about trying to make money. And they've kind of proved that by putting their games on PlayStation, and the games, 3 of the 4 games they put on PlayStation, run better on PlayStation. So they clearly have no problem making content for Sony. So why would they have a problem in this instance, right? Like, that's the thing that I'm trying to kind of like get across to people. Like, they're not going to have any problem if Sony wanted to buy some kind of ability to have marketing rights. I'm sure that Microsoft would allow them to do that. I don't see Microsoft not doing that. They're trying to make money, whatever the case may be. If you could do that, then why wouldn't you? It's still going to be in Game Pass, right, according to them. So realistically, you have this situation where things can, like, what benefit would you get by not allowing Sony to do that, right? That's the main thing that I kind of like to point out is, like, what would be the point of not allowing that, right? I honestly see, like, nobody can really come up with an idea of why that wouldn't be a thing or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, why wouldn't they allow Sony to do that? Again, yeah, it seems silly, but people aren't gonna probably go buy an Xbox strictly for Call of Duty. Hey, if you're a PlayStation owner, let me get rid of my PlayStation 5, all my library, my digital library, my friends, to go buy a $300 to $500 Xbox and pay $205 a year for the rental service to be able to rent Call of Duty. Like, I don't see that happening. Now, there could be some that would upgrade to maybe a Series S from last generation stuff and do that, but even then, is this going to be the year that happens? I don't know, because this year's Call of Duty is once again on all platforms. Even last gen is cross-gen. So, yeah, we are kind of living in this weird situation where these games and stuff are taking longer to make, and we're stuck in the previous generations much longer than we ever were before. So, it is a weird situation that we find ourselves in. Hopefully something can happen before too long, but again, we'll see how it goes. I'm excited to see what the PS5 Pro can offer. I want to see this thing in action, though. I don't want to just okay, here it is or whatever. And I want to see developers take advantage of it. I think that's the main thing. It's like, when the Xbox One X and the PS4 Pro came out, it was a weird situation. You know, the Xbox One X was certainly a great console, but not every developer really took advantage of it, which is unfortunate to say the least. But you know, the ones that did really showcase what they could do. Unfortunately, Microsoft wasn't one of those companies that took advantage of it. So anyway, what do you guys think about this? Do you want to see the PS5 Pro at you know, Tokyo Game Show? Something tells me, and this is just me saying this, that it's going to be announced before that, but it will be there and probably have some demos and stuff. So anyway, let me know what you guys think. Rack 'em up. Crap Gamer out.